isama yung mga project na hindi tapos, isama doon po sa babayaran ng taong bayan.
Thank you.
Yun ang
Impose and ask the consumers to pay for something that is still not operating. I think that's a statement.
Mr. Chair, our statement is for those two projects I was mentioning, if I had been allowed to finish, those are actually commissioned, completed, and were in fact this year inaugurated by the President of the Philippines himself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes
We
po, and those po, again, more than 100 billion po ang cost ng mga projects na yun.
Correct.
Yet our recovery for that is less than 1%. So it's what my point po here in saying po, it may not entirely be accurate that in all cases, NGCP is collecting for projects that are not yet useful or being
But
used.
how can you, attorney, how can you say that when, I mean, ERC has already stated that that's what you're doing.
My point lang, Mr. Chair, is that
Okay, fine, you completed some of your projects.
yes, correct
no?
po.
Pero ang inaano nga ni Congressman Dan Fernandez tsaka substantiated ng ating resource persons na you're collecting even though hindi tapos.
Again,
at yan ay pinapasa sa taong bayan. Doon ho lang muna tayo
sige
umikot
po.
ho sa usapan. Huwag mo natin pag-usapan dumating yung presidente. Huwag mo natin
Sige po.
pag-usapan ho. Diyan ho muna
Ang
tayo.
punto po namin doon is yan po yung dinatnan naming patakaran nung pumasok po ka sa negosyo. Ngayon po, yan po yung pinapasok namin na nung nagkaroon po ng fourth regulatory period, wala pong reset na nangyari, wala pong rules. Kaya ang in-apply po ng NGCP, yung huling inaprubahan ng ERC na rules, which was for the third regulatory period. And under those rules po, ito po talaga forward-looking and allowed po yung mga action ng NGCP. Hindi ho maaaring mag-charge ang NGCP or kumilos ng kahit ano po, nang walang pahintulot ng ERC. So, nung 2016 at hindi po naaprubahan po yung fourth regulatory period, wala ho kaming choice kung di apply yung dating rules. And yung actions po ni NGCP under those rules were allowed. So, yun po ang punto namin, na hindi ho namin ginusto na hindi magkaroon ng regulatory reset noong 2016 onwards. In fact po, nung hindi na ilabas ng ERC yung issues paper, at that time, kami na ho ang naglabas kasi gusto ho namin talagang magkaroon ng reset process. Nung hindi pa rin ho lumabas at hindi na-conduct, wala ho kaming choice kundi ipagpatuloy yung negosyo at serbisyo under the old rules.
So, sinasabi nyo, hindi nyo man sinasagot kung ito fair at saka just. Basta sinasabi nyo lang, itong rules. At
Yes
yan ang
po,
ginagawa
kasi
nyo.
po, yung fair and
Klaro
justness,
na po tayo dyan,
opo,
attorney.
would
Okay?
be on the
Klaro na
ERC.
po tayo dyan. Kaya yan ang inyong punto de vista po dyan, attorney, na I think ERC, this was allowed by ERC. So, why are they...
looking forward kasi tayo. May rules.
Is that really... Okay, because you're shaking your head. Attorney Di Balanta, can you please explain, was this allowed or not?
Mr. Chair, I don't think it's accurate to say it was allowed by ERC because one, there were no rules. I think recognized naman po din ng NGCP that there were no rules after the third regulatory period had lapsed. Walang rules po nun. Sabi nila, nag-file po ng issues paper at that time ang NGCP. Siguro po that demonstrates really the desire of NGCP to have a reset. But it doesn't cure the fact that there were no rules at the time. Kaya po nung 2020, and in fact, I'm checking po if they applied for an interim MAR. Because in 2020, they applied for an interim rate. It's a recognition that there were no valid, issued, approved rates from 2016 all the way to 2020. Kaya po sila nag-apply ng interim. But when the Commission issued also its decision on that interim MAR, clear naman po na interim siya. So hindi po siya in any way a recognition na tama yung ginagawa ninyo, kung yun man po yung ginagawa po niya. Because klaro po na kailangan may full reset bago po magkaroon ng tamang rates ang NGCP. So medyo reserve lang po ako at the time. I wasn't part of the commission at the time, but I think kaya po interim lang yung pinasa ng commission because it's all subject to a full reset.
Thank you very much, ERC Chair Di Malanta. So, that answers the question or the that ERC is now saying that my understanding is that even though there are no rules, mali pa rin ang NGCP. Tama po ba yan?
Klaro po na whatever was happening at that time, whatever was issued, was only an interim arrangement. It wasn't a validation that what they were doing was correct and was upheld by ERC.
Yeah, but what rule will they follow kung there's it's an interim
Klaro
rule?
naman po na dapat po naglabas din yung ERC. Kaya po medyo hirap po akong kasi po, klaro naman po dapat naglabas yung ERC noon. But I think it was also recognized that that the interim that was issued that they applied for in 2020, I think they applied also back in 2015, but it was not acted upon. I'm not sure po. That it was only an interim arrangement. So hindi po siya final rules. It's all subject to the final action in a recess.
Thank you very
Meaning,
much. The
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Meaning, Mr. Chairman,
recognized.
with that, Chairman Mona Lisa de Malanta, I still remember, during the time on 18th Congress, I filed a resolution questioning that interim MAR that was approved by the former commissions, former chairperson, together with the with commissioner. I think that was a 53 billion increase on the if I'm not mistaken, kasi ako nag-file nung resolution na yon we investigated that issue, and that 53 billion was an interim, and during that time it was pandemic. I question the validity of that increase, and what you're trying to say right now, that interim will be acted upon by the
No, Mr. Chair. What I'm saying is that interim was interim only and a recognition that there will be a reset, which is where we are now.
and that's the reason why
Apa.
kung merong excess doon sa paniningil sa taong bayan, ire-refund yon at mapapasama yon doon sa susunod na regulatory period.
Depende po sa outcome po ng
Outcome. Okay.
nung reset.
Now I understand. And that's the reason why, yan ang sinasabi natin, kahit anong gawin nyo, darating ang panahon na sisingilin kayo ng pagkakataon. Huwag natin sabihin na maaayos natin ang mga ERC commissioner. Tapos, hahabulin kayo At ibabalik nyo ang pera sa taong bayan. Mr. Chairman, gusto ko lang ipakita tong small lang.
Okay,
Kasi
the Honorable Dan Fernandez has the floor. Silence is requested.
Kasi ganito ang magiging repercussion.
Please present the slide. But before that, the chair would like to recognize the Honorable J. Kong Hoon of the 1st District of Zambales. They're on Zoom. The Honorable Paulo Ortega of the 1st District of La Union, and the Honorable Amparo Maria Zamora, 2nd District of Taguig.
Mr. Chairman,
Welcome to the hearing.
ito kasing
The Honorable Fernandez.
pakikita ko sa inyo is kinomission kasi ng ERC yung RAAC, yung Royal Asia Appraisal Company, and yung NCL. So kung gagamitin natin yung appraise nila doon sa mga project nila, kasi nagdesisyon sila noong September 2023, nagdesisyon ang ERC together with lahat sila nagdesisyon, pati na yung mga lahat sila na sinasabi, 8.37 billion ang gagamitin natin para doon sa yung mga na-appraise na mga project. Pero nitong August 2024, nagdesisyon sila na ang gamitin ay yung dinisisyonan ng ERC na kung saan si Chairman Mona Lisa de Malanta at si Commissioner Maceda dissented. Sabi nila hindi pa pwede na yung hindi pa natin ginagamit ng mga project ikakarga na sa taong bayan. They dissented. Pero natalo sila sa desisyon. Majority wins kumbaga sa ERC. So ngayon, ang gagamitin po natin sa August 2024, instead na 8.37 billion doon sa ating pong CAPEX is 15 billion noong 2016. Ganon din sa 2017, 3.4 billion instead na 3.4 billion, 20.71 billion. Pagdating ng 2018, 1.58 billion, magiging 27 billion, and so forth and so forth. 2019, 1.13, magiging 31. Sa 2020, ganun din, 647 million, magiging 33 billion. In other words, Mr. Chairman, sa desisyon ng majority na yung pong mga projects will be part noong pong kanilang opening RAB for port regulatory period, that is, I think, unfair sa ating pong mga kababayan. And that's the reason why ako, personally, tutol na tutol po dahil dito. And I agree with the decision of the Commissioner, of Chairman Di Malanta and Commissioner Maceda on dissenting on this issue. Of course, this is the power of the franchise committee. The oversight power that we have. Diba? Although they have decided it's a constitutional body, but the power of oversight is within this committee. And we can still review that provision of spent na sinasabi ng majority na kailangan bayaran na ng taong bayan yan. Ako, I totally disagree with this, Mr. Chairman. Even the 3 commissioners have voted on this issue. I personally think that this is something that we have to really look into deeper, Mr. Chairman. But, tapos na po ako sa isyong ito. Meron po akong another issue that wanted this representation to tackle as well. Pwede po ba?
Maybe is it connected to their first issue, or would you like the Honorable J.J. Suarez first to go on with this?
Mr. Chairman, ito naman po ay may kinalaman po sa kasi we have to invite also siguro yung mga involved dito, yung RAAC, yung NCL,
Correct.
the whole commission, and NGCP, the owner of the NGCP must be invited as well in order to shed light on this matter. Kasi medyo masyado pong detrimental to sa taong bayan eh. Imagine 25 billion po ang dadagdag mo sa capex lang yan ha. It will affect the final determination that will be released by the ERC on January 2025. Nag-release
Mr.
po
Chair,
si
just to
Can you please be clear? How would the 25 billion affect the whole thing? As far as the prices, it will go up, I suppose?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, just to clarify that the commission is yet to finalize the final determination because we have just received the comments. So we will still sit as a body to adopt and finalize. So there is still a chance for the majority to perhaps change
their
its
minds. Yeah.
But the difference in terms po of impact on consumers, if the majority position, if the as-spent position were upheld, it will result in an increase of transmission rates by at least 12 centavos for over a 12-month period. If the position of the minority, if the as completed will be adopted, there will actually be a refund of more than 1 peso for the next 12 months, which means
Laki.
ganun po kalaki po
Yung
Mr.
yung
Chair.
12 centavos, what is the percentage of that? Can we talk of percentages? If it's 12 centavos, is there a percentage increase?
Hindi po,
That-
it's per kilowatt hour po.
Okay.
So per kilowatt hour, 12 centavos per kilowatt hour. For the as completed position, it's a refund of more than 1 peso per kilowatt hour over the next 12 months.
That's huge.
Chair.
That's huge. Okay,
Mr.
that's
Chairman.
clear. Okay, the Honorable, so it's either magtataas ng 12 centavos per kilowatt or magre-refund ng piso. Okay,
Mr.
bago tayo
Chairman.
dyan. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin sa susunod. The Honorable J.J. Suarez.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. Earlier, DOE mentioned that there are 227 projects that were approved. Of the 227, 111 were approved. 83 completed, although 77 are delayed. And then there are still a few more na hindi pa po nagagawa. Gusto ko lang po malaman, base po dito sa performance ng mga projects na ito na dapat nakakapagpakuryente na sa ating mga laylayan, may sinabi po si Congressman Dan kanina na itong mga proyekto nito, maski hindi pa po pinakikinabangan, ay binabayaran na po ng taong bayan? Can you confirm this?
Meron pong, hindi naman po lahat, meron pong mga delayed projects po kasi based on our data, the third RP, for example, this is the last approved regulatory period po for NGCP 2011 to 2015. There were 65 projects included. 6 po doon, ongoing pa din, meaning hindi pa rin po tapos. 3 po doon, based on our analysis, walang data kung kailan ba nagsimula or kailan matatapos. So ito pong mga projects na to, kasama na po sa allowed revenue ni NGCP and sinisingil na po niya since
Okay, teka lang, ma'am.
2011.
Ito lang kasi baka hindi maintindihan ng taong bayan. Bakit sila naniningil sa isang proyektong hindi pa pinakikinabangan ng tao?
Apo.
Kasi common sense would dictate you pay for service. But dito, wala pang service, binabayaran mo na. So anong logic doon?
Yun po kasing sistema po, yung regulatory framework governing transmission and distribution, supposed to be forward-looking po yan.
Precisely.
Sasubmit po nila yung mga plano nilang proyekto over the next 5 years, may budget po sila doon, bibigyan po sila ng authority to collect based on an annual breakdown of the approved budget. So, technically, pwede po under the current framework na kahit hindi pa sila tapos, nakakapaningil silang unti-unti.
But ako ma'am, ang position ko, hindi pwede yon. Kasi, unang-una, hindi naman nalulugi yung NGCP. Paano mo naman masasabi na nalulugi yung NGCP? Mr. Chair, if I may, no? Tignan mo ha.
Deputy Speaker.
NGCP, this is data that I got from the Senate. I'll just go through it. 2014, ang income po ninyo, 22 billion. 2015, ang income po ng NGCP, 22 billion. 2017, ang income po ng NGCP, 20.6 billion. 2019, 20 billion. 2020, 23 billion. 2021, 23 billion. 2022, 34 billion. 2023, 23 billion. So billion-billion po yung kinikita ng NGCP. So hindi nyo po pwedeng masabi sa akin na nalulugi kayo kaya kailangan nyo po yung ganitong pagpasa ng pambayad sa mga consumers sa mga proyektong hindi nyo pa pinakikinabangan. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, dito sa kinikita ninyo, bakit napakalaki yata ng dividendo na binibigay nyo sa mga shareholders ninyo? Like for example, in 2014, your net income was 22 billion. However, the dividends you provided to your shareholders was 24 billion. In 2015, your income was 22 billion, but the dividends, 21 billion, 93%. 20 billion, 19 billion ang dividends ninyo. 2019, 20 billion ang kinita ninyo, 15 billion ang dividends. 2020, 23 billion ang kinita ninyo, 12 billion ang dividends. 2021, 23 billion ang kinita ninyo, 12 billion ang dividends. 2022, 34 billion, 12 billion ang dividends. 2023, 23 billion ang kinita ninyo, 12 billion ang dividends. Shouldn't you be allocating more for development of new sites, expanding your service, improving your service, rather than ensuring that your shareholders get a larger pie of your income?
May we respond, Mr. Chair? Yeah, Mr. Chair, yung funding ho for projects doesn't come just from internally generated cash. So the dividends mentioned come from retained earnings. So that isn't exactly, with all due respect to how it works, that your dividends will be necessarily from your earnings. That's not how things are done po.
No,
Second
but
po,
insofar as you're able to
Yeah.
give billions in dividends,
yes, Mr. Chair.
that means your company is earning billions,
If
correct?
I may, Mr. Chair, proceed. Yung funding capex po was never put at risk even with the distribution of dividends. Our capex, again, is approved by the ERC. So we are only spending exactly how much we're allowed to spend. And in fact po, if you look at the historical data, NGCP has outspent government 5:1. So in terms of yung obligasyon ho namin na gumastos at
Ma'am,
paunlarin ho ang transmission
ma'am.
grid,
Question.
nagawa po yun.
Mr. Chair.
Attorney.
Mr. Chairman,
ah,
are there parameters on that?
why?
That the,
The Honorable Dan Fernandez.
parang,
Mr. Chair.
Attorney, the Honorable Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez has the floor.
I think that's a fair statement to say that we're actually spending more than government. Siyempre, trabaho niyo yun eh.
Yes, exactly po.
So don't compare it to government. Don't compare it to government spending because you are supposed to be establishing those transmission lines to begin with. So don't say that you're spending more than government.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We
That's like-
it just underlines po, Mr. Chair, and I apologize if it came across
so,
as different.
That's an unfair statement because that responsibility was given to NGCP
Yes.
under the franchise that was provided to you.
And we have fulfilled that responsibility, Mr.
Oh,
Chair.
I don't
In
think so.
fact, we have spent 182 billion between 2016 and 2022. So meron ho talaga kaming inilalabas kasi kung hindi po kami maggagastos, wala hong matatapos na proyekto.
Attorney, alam nyo po,
Question lang, Mr.
very
Chair.
relevant po ang sinabi nyong na fulfill niyo yung obligasyon nyo. Because right now, a lot of projects have not been completed. You've been fined 10 times over for them. And you cannot categorically tell us in this committee, straight in our face, that the mandate has been fulfilled. Because nga kaya nga ako yung na-fine eh. So parang kung may disconnect ho yung statement nyo at saka yung nangyayari po talaga sa ground. And the issues being raised now is they do not understand how you can give dividends but on the backside charge the consumer
For projects not yet completed.
for not completed uncompleted projects and still give dividends, huge dividends at the end of the day.
Mr. Chairman,
And you're using the CAPEX as the reason because that's the CAPEX approved again by
Yes.
ERC, but the ERC has never said you can have more. They could have approved a base, but it could have stopped you from increasing your CAPEX para matapos yung po lahat ng proyekto nyo.
Correct.
Tama?
Mr. Chairman.
Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, we just worked on the rules in existence then. So yung sinasabi po ni Chair Mona na interim ho, that was only for the revenue. There was no mention of an interim set of rules.
Okay.
So we had,
Thank
again,
you.
wala ho kaming choice but to follow.
Maraming salamat po.
Mr.
Pag-usapan
Chairman,
po natin. The Honorable
ito,
J.J. Suarez.
just
you have the floor.
to end my point because I'm sure the other congressmen want to raise. For NGC, for example, Mr. Chair, ang dami po natin natatanggap ng mga reklamo ng mga supposed investors in the energy sector. But their perennial problem is connection to the grid. Itong mga energy investors na to uutang ng pera, magde-develop, whether it be renewable or whatever source of energy generation plant, but it would take NGCP decades just to connect them to the grid. At the end, itong mga kumpanya na to na nag-invest
Wala na.
para lang magkaroon ng maayos na negosyo, ma-improve yung supply ng kuryente, bumaba ang supply. Hindi naman po gagawin ng NGCP yung trabaho nila para i-connect sila sa grid. So ang daming naluluging mga kumpanya. Hindi lang nalulugi ang mga nalulugi din sa tamang serbisyo na dapat nilang natatanggap. I can identify 2 or 3 sites. While I was governor of Quezon Province, NGCP did not do that. So how can they say that they cannot do that when they're giving dividends in the billions? In the billions, 91.2% ang payout rate nila sa mga dividendo ng kanilang shareholders. Dapat, inuuna nila yung priority at yun yung pagbibigay ng tamang serbisyo sa taong bayan, hindi yung mga shareholders nila. At mamaya, Mr. Chair, I would raise a point about the shareholders of NGCP?
Speaker, from a incumbent deputy speaker to a former deputy speaker, the Honorable Yusek Sharon Garin.
So Chair, just another perspective to that. If according to based on the NGCP audited financial statements, the total revenue is 663 billion in the past 14 years. The average annual net income is 22.52 billion, and the average annual dividends, as per financial statements, is 16.86 billion, while the total net income is 315 billion, and the total dividends is 236 billion. Ang capex nila, as of that financial statement, is 237.8 billion, and total loan is 237.6 billion. Based on the report of Transco, na annual report, the total transmission asset is 544 billion compared to the above figures, and the total revenue of NGCP in the past 14 years is 663 billion. Therefore, it has exceeded the valuation of the total transmission asset of Transco of 544 billion. The total concession fee paid by NGCP in the past 16 years is 203.62 billion. That has been overtaken by the total dividends received by its owners of 236, mas mataas pa yung dividends, 236 billion. So with 10 more years under concession agreement, from the point of view of the investors, these numbers are very, very good, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So in other words,
Sharon Garin. The Honorable Dan Fernandez is recognized.
so in other words, Mr. Chairman, kasi yung concession fees po nila, no, na babayaran nila in 20 years, 168.9 billion yung kanilang kontrata. Pero yung kinita nila, ang laki-laki na po. At ang totoo dito, yung wealth that is transferred by Transco to NGCP is not even shared to the public. Alam niyo, Mr. Chairman, in accordance with Section 8 of Republic Act 9511, sinasabi dyan that the grantee, the NGCP, shall list subject to the requirements of the Securities and Exchange Commission and the PSE and make a public offering of the shares representing at least 20% of its outstanding capital stock. Alam mo, Mr. Chairman, ang sinasabi po ng batas natin sa Republic Act 9511, Section 8, dapat yung at least 20% ng NGCP are being open or offer to the public. Pero, Mr. Chairman, I have so many questions about this issue wherein indeed the NGCP offered to the public its 20% share in accordance with the provision of Section 8 of Republic Act 9511. Mr. Chairman, we all know that ang breakdown ng ating pong NGCP, 40% yan is owned by the China Grid Corporation and 30% is owned by Monte Oro Grid Corporation and 30% is owned by the Kalaka. The NGCP applied, no? Kasi sabi ng batas 10 years 10 years kailangan bago mag-expired. Simula sila ng 2009 January. Dapat nung January 15, 2019, dapat nakapag-offer na sila sa public nung share na sinabi ng batas 20%. Pero, Mr. Chairman, sa nabasa ko sa website, no, na nakuha ko sa ERC, and try to find out sa website ng NGCP, yung public offering, no, wala po ako nakita, kundi, ang nakita ko is share swap. Ano ba yung share swap? Ang share swap, ang nag-uusap yung iba-ibang, yung mga kumpanya na listed sa Philippine Stock Exchange at sila nag-uusap para makapag-comply doon sa sinasabi nating requirements ng Section 8 ng Republic Act 9511. But there is a legal question in here because hindi po nagkaroon ng tunay na public offering.
Correct.
In accordance with Section 8 of Republic Act 9511, kundi nagkaroon ng private transaction between NGCP and the Synergy Grid Corporation, which is still owned by those people who owned NGCP. At Mr. Chairman, I have found out na ito pong 60% na pag-aari po ng NGCP, dalawang kumpanya may-ari niyan, yung pong Monte Oro, which is owned by the One Taipan Holding Corporation, which is owned by Henry C. and Robert Coyuto, at doon sa Kalaka naman, na siya may-ari doon sa NGCP, owned by the Pacific 21, which is 100% owned by the SGP. Now, Mr. Chairman, having said that, sila may-ari ng 60% ng NGCP, nag-offer sila sa public. Pero ang bumili, Synergy, na sila yung may-ari. Now, ang tanong, ERC. I know hindi mo pa panahon to. Ang desisyon na to ay nabasa ko na ang desisyon. About last night when I was reading this decision that was dissented by Commissioner Maceda, and approved by the majority, ay instead of relying on the final order ordering the NGCP to proceed with the IPO within 6 months, kasi nag-motion for reconsideration pa sila doon. Now, ang tanong ko sa iyo, Mona, have you encountered this issue even though na hindi pa ikaw ang chairperson during that time? Can you
Chair
kindly
De Malanta,
explore on this issue?
please reply. I think what he's talking about, it's clear. The obligation to sell off a portion of the shares, and the Honorable Fernandez is now saying that it was not done in accordance with what the law requires. Please reply.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I encountered it when we started talking about the reset, Mr. Chair, because
Yes.
part of the reset is to review the compliance of NGCP with all its obligations. And that's when I was advised that I think in 2021, I'm just trying to get the exact dates po, Mr. Chair. In 2021, the ERC allowed or accepted the share swap as an indirect compliance with the public offering requirement in Section 8 of the franchise of NGCP. So I did ask whether this is already in compliance, because the law requires a listing of its shares, of NGCP shares. But this one is complying with it indirectly with the listing of Synergy. Synergy po yung listed company. So, but I understand that the ERC allowed it back in 2021. Di ko lang po alam yung
When you
exact-
say they allowed it, in what form did they allow it? Was there a resolution? Was there a...
There was a compliance filed by NGCP
And-
po, and there was an issuance. I'm just not sure if it's an order or decision.
But
that
in
was
your
issued.
opinion, you're a respected lawyer, a distinguished lawyer, a practicing lawyer. Is that in compliance?
I have my questions po, because the franchise is clear when it says its shares, meaning the franchise holder shares, and these are not the shares of NGCP itself that were listed.
Of
Shares of the parent that are listed. So
which is in
which is
violation.
not which does not comply with listing of its shares. But this is a requirement under their franchise, so I defer din
That's
po.
right.
To the
That's right. That's something
committee.
that we will take, I mean,
outstanding shares of stock of the grantee shall be considered part of NGCP that is compliant po under 9511. I understand that what you're quoting, that's the first part, but that's the general rule. But there is an option for an indirect listing, which we did, I think, in 2022 or thereabouts, after seeking approval to ensure that the company that does the follow-on offering will comply with the 30% requirement under Section 8. So just a clarification, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
we take note of that. And maybe the subject in the amendments in the future, that's something that we should look at because I think it's only NGCP that has that provision.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Yes,
Mr. Chair,
Honorable.
I believe
The
on what
Honorable,
Attorney
Blas
Cynthia were
Fernandez.
mentioning a while ago, that that is provided under the law, Section 8 of the Republic Act 9511. But you deceive the ARC precisely when you applied for IPO sa ERC. You never mentioned about the share swap. Have you mentioned the share swap prior to the motion for clarification? Prior to motion for clarification that was applied by the NGCP. Have you mentioned the share swap?
Mr.
yes,
Chair,
please reply.
Please answer that.
Yes or no muna?
No.
Yeah,
It
I think that's
cannot be
answerable
answered
by
answered
yes
po
or
by
no.
a yes or no.
Para po tayo
Because
klaro.
the shares-
No, wait. Attorney Cynthia, ang tinatanong ko, prior to the application of motion for clarification of the final order that was made by the ERC on the list of IPO within 6 months, did you mention the share swap?
I cannot answer, Mr. Chair, because I don't
You did
know
not.
what the motion for clarification
You did
is.
not.
And if I may explain, Mr. Chair, the
Please
share
proceed.
swap was to ensure the 30% compliance. Because had we not done the share swap, then SGP may not make that 30% compliance requirement.
Yes.
Now, after po the share swap, yung SGP po, ang follow-on offering, there was no IPO, it was a follow-on offering. And because of the share swap with SGP, naging compliant ngayon po yung follow-on offering with Section 8. Without the share swap, hindi po magiging compliant.
Yes, wait, Attorney Cynthia. Yung share swap na sinasabi natin dito, who owns the SGP na nakabili doon sa NGCP na 60% owned by Monte Oro and Calaca?
SGP is owned po,
By?
SGP owns part of NGCP.
Sino nga may-ari?
Now, yung structuring
Sino nga
po,
may-ari
if
ng
I may,
NGCP? Ng SGP? Ng
ah,
Synergy? Sino?
I will get back to you on that. I don't have the documents on that, Mr. Chair.
Hindi
But,
nyo alam taga NGCP kayo?
this
Sino ang
NGCP po we're talking
sino
about
ang
SGP. I'm not
majority
part of
shareholder
SGP po.
ng Synergy?
Again, I don't have the documents with me,
Hindi
Mr.
mo
Chair,
alam?
but we will,
Na si
hindi
hindi
po
mo
ako
alam?
taga SGP po,
Hindi mo alam
NGCP
na
po
may-ari
ako.
ng 38.94% is
I don't have
LBC?
the documents, Mr. Chair,
Na
right
boss mo?
now. I cannot confirm that
Ito,
because
papakonfirm ko sa'yo. Pakita
then
natin.
we would be
Pakikita ko
okay
sa'yo
po
para
with
malaman mo na
if
ang
we
boss
have
mo may-ari.
copies of that.
Na nakabili ng share ng NGCP ay kayo din mismo.
Again, yun naman po ay
Show the
pinalo-on offering. Even though po ang may-ari ng SGP, that was offered to the public.
38.94% owned by Henry C. Jr. 38.94% is owned by Robert Coyuto. That is 77.88% owned by them na binili ang NGCP. PCD Nominee Corporation, 13.32% PCD Nominee Corporation, non-Filipino, 7.43%. 77.88% plus 20.75%, that is 98.63%. In other words, kayo ang bumili sa NGCP at ang natira para sa taong bayan is 1.37%, which is in violation of Section 8 of Republic Act 9511. That I want you to know, na ang nakabili ng share na dapat ay sa public ay ang boss mo mismo.
Mr. Chair, the requirement is for a public offering, and that was done. Now, we cannot, if whoever purchases from the open market, that's a market.
Is it moral?
Again, Mr. Chair,
I'm asking you, it is moral to buy your own? Ikaw bibili. Kaya ang ginawa ninyo hindi nyo nga sinabi yung share swap doon sa discussion ng ERC Ang ginawa
It wasn't
ninyo,
a share
nag-motion
swap
kayo for clarification, clarifying the decision of the final order to proceed with the IPO within 6 months. You deceive, as a matter of fact. Si Mr. Francisco, yung inyong consultant who testified in the ERC, even manifested that you have an ongoing discussion starting no November 2019. Pinag-uusapan nyo na po yung IPO. But then suddenly, sa motion for clarification, na instead, nasundin nyo yung final order, you have injected a amendment on the decision of the motion for reconsideration. Mr. Chairman, I think nakikita po natin dito that they abuse the power that was given to them. The franchise that we have given to NGCP was really abused by them. Isa pa lamang to, Mr. Chairman. And for that, Mr. Chairman, this representation wanted to invite yung mga may-ari nung nakabili nung share ng NGCP. Dito si Henry C. Jr., imbitahan po natin si Mr. Robert Piuto, at imbitahan din natin itong PCD Nominee Corporation na Pilipino at PCD Nominee Corporation non-Pilipino dahil sila po ay nagko-comprise ng 98% ownership na instead na public ang nakinabang, taong bayan, because that is the very essence of putting the public utilities sa IPO, sa public offering, because ito po entails economic development. It entails transparency and efficiency of the public utilities. Ang mga water concessionaire natin, binigyan po natin sila ng concession dahil yun po ang ating ang ating pong intention na maging transparent at ma-involve ang ating pong mga kababayan. Unfortunately, ang ginawa po ng NGCP, yung kanilang supposedly compliance with Section 8 of Republic Act 9511, nak-backdoor sila. Na imbis na ibenta sa taong bayan, sila mismo ang bumili, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable
I have another one issue,
Dan
Mr. Chairman.
Fernandez. We will have asked them. We will give you ample rest, okay, to be able to get your third point across.
Mr. Chair.
For NGCP, I think I'm sure you have an answer to that, no? But you just have to raise it, yes, in paper. I think it's very clear that I think the point of the Honorable Dan Fernandez is that that should have been given to the public. So a question, and it's 20% of the entire pie, not only 20% of a portion of. So now I think he's now saying that that was not done. Now, ergo, it has violated the very essence of this franchise granted to you by Congress. The Honorable Deputy Speaker, J.J. Suarez, recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just along the logic being forwarded by Congressman Dan Fernandez, the intention of the public offering is so that the public will have a chance to have ownership and say over a public utility. Yun yung intention nung Section 8 na yon. Kasi taong bayan makikinabang, taong bayan magbabayad, so dapat maski papaano may boses yung taong bayad sa kumpanya na yon. Ang nangyari po dito, ayon sa sinabi ni Congressman Dan Fernandez, yung public offering po ng NGCP, sila din po ang bumili sa sarili nilang shares. So that in itself is a violation of the intent of Section 8. Now, question, NGCP. Ma'am, question lang po dito sa SGP. So you mentioned earlier that you complied because SGP bought into NGCP. Is this correct?
Mr. Chair, we just reserve the right po to answer the questions of the committee in a position paper po.
No, but you mentioned earlier that you comply. You felt that you were compliant because SGP bought the public offerings, no?
Sorry. Mr. Chair, our previous statements, we will all summarize in a position paper na lang for clarity po.
Can I just ask, does SGP, does it have voting authority?
Mr. Chair, so that we can answer intelligently and with completeness, we will take note of all the questions of the committee and submit answers to the same in a position paper po.
So we don't know whether or not SGP has voting authority.
If you're going to make that position for every question that's going to be asked of you, then how do we proceed?
Mr. Chair, our understanding was that this was a La Nina briefing. Had we known that these things would have been taken up, then we would have better prepared. But these are matters that we can thresh out fully if given the proper time.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think we're still in line with the briefing because remember, we're talking about performance
Correct.
and how NGCP addresses performance. And NGCP, the very basis of your performance is your franchise.
But Mr.
So
sorry.
there is nothing wrong if we look into your performance because the very bedrock of your performance is the franchise that has been awarded to you by government. Now, if we see that you are not performing well and are deficient in a lot of areas, there's nothing wrong to look and to revisit your franchise because that's the very basis why you're operating. Now, if you feel that we are in violation or whatever, do we have quorum, Mr. Chair?
Yes, we do.
Why?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. But I just would like to make this clear. This is a continuance, and being that we are now still in line because that was the problem of the last hearing. We had to summarize it, and it all boils down to the transmission lines. And that's why everything is being asked here is still in connection with. Ang problema lang po, ma'am, nagsasanga eh. No? May mga pumapasok because of your answers, sumasanga rin yung tanong, no? But I think it's still okay. The questions like, are you ready? Can you do it? Because now they're saying that there are problems and they're now of the position that we may not be ready for problems like this in the future. Parang, that's, so because of the answers, nagsasanga ho yung tanong.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we recognize, of course, the powers of the committee to look into the performance of NGCP. However, these are details that we are not prepared with today because we were looking more into operational. We are not refusing to answer any of the questions po, but